Hi, Mike.
G'day, John. I don't think that we'll see houses being built on the red zone anytime soon. My understanding, and this is a sort of a preliminary investigation by the council, this has been something that's actually been talked about by various staff in the council for a while now, and obviously, yes, as has been indicated by some callers, there are absolutely, definitely parts of the red zone which geotechnical experts have looked at and are quite okay to build on. A lot of some of that area was sort of just covered in the red zone because. Look, there are issues with regard to stormwater. The council will see flood basins built in areas like that. Underground services, sewerage, that's a problem in that part of town. But you've got to remember, looking at the bigger picture, Christchurch is facing a real problem with regard to greenfield land development. As a city, we've probably only got 6 or maybe 7 years worth of greenfield land left, and then there's nothing. We're hard up against the boundaries in Hallsville and Belfast. We're now building out in Islington. Now, of course, that's no reason to go, well, let's build on the red zone. But certainly the proposal that's been put forward for council members to sort of study at the moment is going to start to look at areas of the red zone which can be built on, and it'll start with sort of social and sort of affordable housing as a starter. Whether it goes beyond that, I'm not sure, but we're not going to start to see houses being built on there in the next 12 months or so. That's not going to happen.
So this is the Dallington area you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned there, what did you say? You said social and low-cost housing. So do you have a sort of a bit of an in terms of what the plan might be?
Well, look, I'm reluctant to mention any names. Obviously, the council's social housing arm is Oratahi Community Housing Trust. And what they're doing at the moment is that they're going around a lot of the existing no longer fit for purpose council social housing, knocking it all down and rebuilding new stuff. Money for this type of development is really hard to come by. The council doesn't have any money, so I don't think that the Christchurch City Council is going to be building social housing themselves. We may see a little bit of a JV with maybe some finance partners. Again, I don't want to mention anybody's name because I'm not privy to anything that might or might not be happening, but there are a number of social housing agencies which may well look to build on this land. So you don't they can get the money,
right? So you don't see this being having Williamsthorpe's hands all over it. Wolfbrook, Mike.
Look, and again, it's not my place to speak for those guys, but as I said before, Christchurch has got a significant problem when you look at the bigger picture. Is that we're running out of land. Now that's no excuse to build on land that is not suitable. But having said that, John, look at forget Flockton Basin, Cranford Basin off Cranford Street there.
Yep.
The land that's now being built between Preston's Road and QE2 Drive. They're going to have to put thousands and thousands of truckloads of shingle in there to sort of bring that up above the water table, which all adds to the cost of building houses, of course. But where Christchurch is running out of a problem, and again, this multi-storey intensification, which you and I have talked about on a number of occasions, that's only a certain percentage of the market that wants to live in those things, and which is the reason why we're building so many houses in Selwyn and Waimakariri. John, year on year, the number of houses built in Selwyn has increased by 50%.
Japers. So do you reckon, because I've just got this niggling thing that since, the 15 years or 14 years since that area was red zoned, testing technology and building technology has advanced. You don't think that it's not worth at least kicking the tyres out there a bit more?
Oh, look, absolutely, John. Yes, the engineers and people that I talk to who have looked at some areas in the red zone, and again, John, just to be absolutely clear, look, I've not seen a map, so I don't know exactly the designated areas that the council are looking at in this particular instance, but I've been told with reasonable certainty that there is a reasonably good percentage of land in the red zone, which, given engineering and infrastructure building, would be okay to build on. Look, I'll give you another example. In Swans Road in Richmond, there was, and I can't think of the wee cul-de-sac in there, there was a state housing. Housing New Zealand had a block of, I don't know, 20, 30 units. Now that was damaged really badly during the earthquakes, and that was knocked down and has been vacant. Now that's technically not red zoned, but that land has been put up for sale. I understand that it's been contracted, and we'll see houses built on there probably sometime soon. So it's a progression that some of the land which is suitable to be built on in that red zone will eventually become housing again.
Right. You got any idea of the percentage of the area?
No, I couldn't. I do have some maps, but as I said, I'm not specifically aware of that. Oh, look. I mean, it's not going to be 50%. It's not going to be 30%. It'll be smaller areas around the margins. And again, as I said, some of those larger developers, they are hungry for land as population increases over a period of time, and we've got to have places to put people. At the moment, it's Rolleston and Darfield.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Mike, thanks for calling in, mate. Your expertise is always appreciated.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Mike. Mike is, if you're wondering, Mike Blackburn. He's a observer and commentator on property and construction.